her almost dying and all. So that's definitely a little bit curious. But hey, it's just a passive. The passive will be back in a short little bit. I don't think that that's gonna be too big of a problem, anyways.
Yeah, I think Nami just walked forward because she knew she still had the passive, so she wasn't going to die, and she needed to get the EXP from the first minion wave to hit level 2. Unfortunately,
Fair.
Uwe on the Tigreal, trying to go into the jungle to make sure that Khalid would not invade, cost Navi a lot of lane priority against the Hylo Susin combination, which means China is going to be able to rotate a lot more easily in these first few minutes.
Yeah, so I think that it will just be a matter of time before Gambodia kind of gets himself back to the feet. But Chokes dealt a crazy amount of damage on the Tegami, but Tegami decides to go back over to a bot channel, but he's gonna be fine for now. It is just a little bit of a poking from both of these two teams. It's gonna be okay.
And this is why we talked about the Zeusin in the draft, right? Why I suggested Gambodia should ban it out. It just creates so much pressure. Nana was picked up because of the range of her abilities, and even then, with Hylos around, there's no way for Navi to walk up and lane, and Vermouth is already being very active on the map, which is exactly what she should be doing. Gambodia actually has a good amount of early game burst damage, so Vermouth needs to expend her pressure to make sure they cannot execute on it.
Pretty good rotations coming from both sides, but it does seem like a raging sandstorm from Jessica lands on the Tegami. Tegami wants to take the turtle, but unfortunately wasn't able to do so. As such, Nolan takes the turtle right underneath the noses of Gambodia, with Vermouth taking the first blood over to the side of Nana, while Jessica clips and yet another one in the bag onto the side of Tegami, while the rest of China still continues to move on over to the side of Gambodia. The Earth Shatter did manage to land on two, but at the cost of his own life, while Jessica wants to finish it off onto UEE, but I don't think that she will be able to. Luckily, she survives to tell the tale.
3 kills though, that was beautifully played by the team from China. I think especially Chokis, her positioning was perfect. She was being targeted by 2 members of Gambodia, I believe it was Moshi and Uwe, and was still able to dash perfectly in between them to not get CC'd and time the retry on the turtle at the precise timing. Not to mention Jessica being able to flicker in right as the turtle started to land the stun on Tegami with the Raging Sandstorm. Even though Gambodia should have better burst damage overall early, I think China is demonstrating an impressive mastery on how to play around a Zeusin combination, and it's making it impossible for Gambodia to escape if the fight doesn't go their way.
As the Lantern Flare is just gonna be shining the light onto UEE and ensure that UEE will not get a free implosion right onto China. Gambodia now finds themselves in a tough spot, unable to ensure that Bruno is gonna be having a great time. Gambodia, though, right now, they are trying to get a little bit of priority over the river, but it doesn't seem like they will be able to get too much of that.
Yeah, Gambodia has a lineup that's actually fairly good at fighting and ganking, but you can see how much pressure Navi is under. If you don't have mid lane prio in an early game composition, you actually cannot really go for catches, and that's why it's so easy for Fanhua and Vermouth to walk around and provide information to the rest of their team. Even though we're only 4 minutes in, we're already seeing a 2k advantage for China, and I think that's only going to continue to grow unless Gambodia is able to find a big team fight initiation.
Honestly, I don't think that is looking all too great for the side of Gambodia, because they are giving a lot of these free damages over to the side of Zeusin, especially when it comes down to Moshi as well as UEE, constantly just eating up all that Lantern Flare. I mean, I can definitely dig that they are pretty tanky. But in the meantime, up to the top lane, Jessica finds the Raging Sandstorm onto Moshi, while the rest of the members from the side of China are just gonna be crippling in onto the side of Nabi. But Moshi, the onwards, catches onto Yinhuai, but not quite enough to bring her down, unfortunately, and Jessica re-enters and gets a kill down on the Moshi.
Ooh, even a flicker forward. Wow. Oh, a double kill for Jessica. China, I really love their controlled aggression. They're able to get the top tier 1 for free, but because it took them so long, Yui from Gambodia was actually able to get most of the gold shield and the tower down bottom as well. So Gambodia still able to match up somewhat, but I really gotta point out the effectiveness on Yinhuai on this Moskov, because that Spear of Destruction being used as a scouting tool thrown to the bot lane, finding Tegami and Yui there meant they could initiate.
Now, of course, the glorious pathway from the side of China wants to open things up onto Cambodia, almost taking UEE down, but not quite yet. While Yin Huai does have the Spirit of Destruction landing on someone, but immediately teleporting right into the middle lane. UEE is gonna find himself dead to the Ring of Punishment from the side of China.
China just controlling the momentum of the entire game right now. The Spear of Destruction being used the same way a diversion is, and even Tegami almost falling in a 1v1 to Jessica. The lead is starting to grow out of control, and Cambodia needs to find something on the map soon. Else, this is gonna be a very one-sided game.
Honestly, the damage coming in from Jessica despite building tank is kinda disgusting. I would say that that is almost illegal, considering the fact that a EXP tank build is actually doing quite a number onto Tegami, but I don't think that Cambodia wants to leave the sleeping dogs lie. They have rotated all the way down to the bottom lane, but let's be honest, Jessica on that sand is just moving way too fast for the members of Cambodia to eventually catch her out.
I think Cambodia has already been forced into very reactive positioning, and you can even see the Spear of Destruction used to scout out their own jungle, because China knows that Cambodia is trying to set up for the ambush. Oh, Yin Huai in some trouble?
Oh, doesn't seem like he will be able to stay alive though. But Chokes is back in the mix with a quick little fracture. Ought to do the job just to bring Tegami down. A 1-for-1 trade between the pos 1 and the pos 2. But the most important thing is Cambodia doesn't have a jungler that will be able to bring this turtle down right now. The implosion is going to be landing down on Chokes. Chokes wants to get away, but unfortunately wasn't able to, as Yui takes the kill. And that cycle ends up being favorable for the side of Cambodia. Jessica joins in the fray, hoping that we'll be able to land the Raging Sandstorm. Yes, he will be able to. Onto both Nabi as well as UEE, while UEE charges Fanhua all the way to the back, allowing Nabi to get that kill. Jessica continues on forward, flickers, double flicker from both Jessica as well as Nabi, but Jessica still manages to find a kill again onto Nabi.
Good play there from Cambodia. They knew that Chokes was up top, and they're gonna be able to pick up another one. Ogi's shadow kill in the mid lane on Yin Huai. This is what we needed. This is what I said. Cambodia needed to make something happen soon, and that's what exactly they were able to find. That's gonna even up the net worth lead a good amount. Unfortunately, Chokes mistimed the dash there, got caught by the Sacred Hammer implosion combo, and so wasn't able to escape. And I think the rest of China were not the most effective at peeling them off, instead opting to try and continue on the fight when they no longer had their DPS members alive.
Unfortunately, we're starting to see the power spike coming in from Yui, as I believe that both the Heart's Claws as well as the Berserker's Fury is more or less made on the side of Yui. So the damage should be coming in through right about now. Nabi should be having a decent amount of items as well. Tegami, let's not forget about Tegami. She's managed to get a total of 2 kills, but unfortunately 2 deaths. So that should be around there, right? Yui should be having the highest amount of gold, followed by Tegami, then Nabi.
They're still gonna be able to start blitzing down the turtle, though. They know that Tegami is down bottom, so China should be able to get this for free. Yep, Chokes gets it, and Moshi gonna be sacrificed as the rest of Cambodia is just not close enough to follow up on this objective.
With a quick little flicker plus implosion, it does seem like Nabi manages to find the kill right after that good catch from the side of UEE. Cambodia manages to barely just kind of equalize what they have lost. It's kind of a roamer for a jungler, while the Lord will slowly make his way over to the lanes and just do a significant amount of damage to Cambodia's structures, which I think that the middle lane turret is going to be the main important thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mid lane turret, no, mid lane priority. We already talked about how much it can unlock the rest of the map for you. But honestly, Chokes did not need to die in that previous Lord fight. She actually got a bit too greedy. Thought that, okay, I just took the Lord, I can go split push top lane. But Cambodia cut her off. If Chokes had survived there, the game would have looked a lot more comfortable for China regardless.
Oh, the sandwich play coming from the side of Cambodia. They really want to catch on the side of Vermouth, but this mage is just not gonna die! Fanhua comes into the backlines and dealing quite a number on the side of Yui as well as Tegami. Yui even flickers herself out of the way, but unfortunately wasn't able to get herself away from the Ring of Punishment just well enough. It is a 2-for-1 trade, but unfortunately, we've got the marksman for the side of Cambodia that went down.
I'm really impressed by the fact that Fanhua was still able to get that kill. I feel like Yui should have focused a bit more on running to like get some spacing in to do DPS instead of just continuing to pelt footballs at her, because like her HP was already so low. You gotta be a little bit more aware of your positioning there. But Cambodia is at the very least able to fight China a little bit more on top of things, right? I think UE on this Tigreal is a very important factor, because that implosion is being saved to catch out China when they try to go for re-engages. I like that Cambodia isn't trying to force fights with it. Instead, it's a very important cooldown to punish their opponents when they overextend, thinking that they might be able to reverse the advantage in team fights.
One thing that I do like as well is the fact that China had decided to force some fights up in the top side, just so that they will be able to take the attention of Cambodia away from the middle lane tier 1. And now they're naturally pushing lane with the mega creeps in the middle lane brought down the T1 turret. That pretty much leaves Cambodia in a very difficult spot in trying to claim their own jungle.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to really walk up on the map, but it's also not too bad, because I think both teams know at this point it's going to be very dangerous if they end up having independent split pushers caught out on their own. Jessica going to be able to find Yui up top though.
Speaking of independency, it does seem as though we do have Jessica really wanted to start something, but Yin Huai follows up with the speed of destruction, landing pretty effectively and joining into the battles just that fast. China found 3 kills right as the Lord spawned, and Cambodia, unfortunately, they're gonna have a lot of troubles and problems trying to steal this Lord away, because the army is still at level 14.
Yeah, I really love the layering there from China. The moment that Jessica scouted out 2 players in that brush, the movement was instantaneous, right? Fanhua cutting off the midpoint, and then Chokas going into the back to see if there would be any other members coming in to provide backup. That's how they were able to so easily split apart the fight and dispatch multiple members of Cambodia without them really being able to do anything about it. With the Lord now in their hands, like Cambodia, their high ground defense is not bad, but I don't think China is really going to be grouping up to allow them to catch them anymore. Like, they should be able to do quite a lot of tower damage with this next Lord.
Without a doubt, I will believe that all of the inner turrets should be taken down by the hands of China, no doubt. But in the meantime, Nabi did manage to pick up that Divine Glaive. So we talked about the wave clear, and Nabi has got that wave clear. With all of these boomerangs, you can pretty much expect that these waves will be threatened pretty darn fast. I'm not too sure about the Holy Crystal though, but we definitely got to look out for that. In the meantime, down to the bottom lane, Yin Huai, together with the Lord, takes down the inhibitor.
And they should be able to get the mid tier 2 pretty soon as well. Oh, Takami!
Oh, Yin Huai catches and eats onto the Spear of Destruction as well as the Fracture, ending her life. And China will find this opportunity and hoping that they are gonna be starting something, especially since Jessica have both the Flicker as well as the Raging Sandstorm. The moment that they find anyone trying to overextend, that is going to be the go time.
This is incredible pressure and positioning coming in from Team China right now. They are perfectly split apart, just far enough that they'll be able to back each other up when necessary, as well as cutting off every potential roam path that Cambodia has. Even though Tegami should be able to do some split pushing, she's not able to do it anymore, even in her own half of the map. The kill score 15-8, a 6k gold lead in favor of China. I think we are looking at the last few moments of this. The next Lord gonna be very easy for China to get, I feel.
But Cambodia, at this point in time, they want Yui as well as Nabi to get the full items in their builds. And the moment that they do that, that is where the main pain will start to appear. Now, China, I don't think that they have managed to experience the full brunt of the damage from the side of Nana just yet. So honestly, I think that there is still a certain level of complacency that might still happen to the side of China unless they are that disciplined against Cambodia. To be fair, they have always played in a very disciplined way, whereby they have got significant amount of lead, but they will still prefer to end the game through objectives instead of trying to go for a 5-man wipeout.
Yeah, I really like the discipline that. Oh, look at Jessica's already in the backline. They're trying to completely interrupt Cambodia from their base.
Completely cut off. As such, the first person that is about to be taken down is going to be Moshi, followed by Nabi, as that is going to be the passive that will be taken down. UEE is going to be the next one onto the chopping block, as China, swift and decisive. They came in like a wrecking ball, with 3 members for the side of Cambodia already been taken down. Tegami joins in with the quad shadow, but unfortunately wasn't in a lot of damage that he's able to deal. Almost bringing Chokis down, or rather he did, but unfortunately at the cost of his own life, with a 5-man wipeout from the side of China. Cambodia lost 1 point, and China